white shapes scattered along the icy shoreline had people reaching for their binoculars. Minutes later, they were speechless. What had they seen? Why were so many people gathered there? In today's video, we reveal the incredible thing tourists will never forget about their trip to the Arctic. Let's start. Some tourists on the last Arctic cruise of the season were enjoying the stunning views near Wrangel Island when they spotted white shapes in the distance. At first, they thought they were sheep by the river, but as the ship got closer, they realized they were polar bears, adults and cubs, with some females having up to 4 cubs. It was unusual to see so many gathered in one place. The reason? A bowhead whale had washed ashore, attracting around 200 bears. Drawn by the scent, they rushed to feast. Sightings like this are rare, especially as polar bears become less common due to climate change. If spotting hundreds of polar bears wasn't surreal enough, just wait until night falls. Night fell quietly in the Arctic, not with darkness, but with a calm, deep blue light. One light, then another, until the heavens burst open. Green ribbons of light flowed across the sky, edged with purple and pink, like silk in the wind. NASA says the lights appear when solar particles hit Earth's atmosphere near the poles, but no explanation matches the feeling. The lights danced above the icy world, their glow reflected in the sea and snow. It was like green fire in a land of ice, something people had waited years, even decades, to see. Think the night sky was stunning? What if we told you, sometimes the Arctic sun refuses to set at all? The midnight sun hung low, casting long shadows over the snow. Glaciers shimmered like glass, and the still sea mirrored the sky so perfectly it was hard to tell them apart. In the Arctic summer, the sun doesn't set for weeks, a phenomenon called polar day. Areas above the Arctic Circle can see daylight for up to 2.5 months. For those used to sunsets, this endless light felt surreal. With no darkness to mark the day's end, there was only time to wander, reflect, and exist. If you had the chance to witness just one Arctic wonder, polar bears, northern lights, or midnight sun, which would you choose? Tell us why below. We love hearing your dream destinations. Of course, seeing polar bears once is unforgettable, but what if you could track in their wild home without disturbing a thing? High in the Norwegian Arctic, Svalbard is one of the best places to see polar bears in the wild. They roam glaciers, fjords, and remote coasts, often hidden, but always near. A safari here isn't about chasing bears. It's about moving quietly, watching, and waiting. Guided by Arctic experts, visitors travel by boat or snowmobile, hoping to spot the large white figure. The bears are protected by strict laws. Viewing is done from a distance, with care. This makes each sighting more meaningful. Polar bears are listed as vulnerable by the World Conservation Union. Climate change and melting sea ice threaten their future. Seeing one in the wild is both a rare gift and a reminder of what we stand to lose. And while the Arctic is home to incredible wildlife, the ice itself tells stories older than memory. In western Greenland's Ilulissat ice fjord, the ship moves slowly, not from trouble, but because the water is filled with massive icebergs from the Surmek-Kujalik Glacier. Some are car-sized, others tower like glowing blue-white cathedrals. Each turn reveals something new: sharp peaks, smooth curves, deep cracks, shapes sculpted by time and pressure. UNESCO calls Ilulissat one of Greenland's top natural wonders and one of the world's fastest-moving glaciers, creating about 35 billion tons of icebergs each year. But what happens when the ice no longer towers above, but stretches wide and endless in every direction? Before exploring, I have a special 10-second request for all of you listening. If you can help me in any way, just hit the notification bell and hit that subscribe button. It helps this channel so much, And if you do that, I will do everything I can to make this show even better for you. Deal? In the Arctic tundra, sound doesn't vanish, it rests. No engines, no city noise, just snow, wide and untouched, like a blank page. According to the Arctic Center at the University of Lapland, much of the Arctic tundra is classified as an acoustic refuge, where natural soundscapes remain undisturbed by human noise pollution. These rare places are vital not just for wildlife, but for people too. Walk a little farther and the only sounds are the crunch of boots in snow and the slow exhale of your breath. Time feels slower. Thoughts stretch longer. The cold, somehow, makes your senses sharper. Once the silence wraps around you, another sound appears. Pause on snow, and a centuries-old journey begins. In places like Finnish Lapland and northern Norway, sled dogs are still essential. They're trained to run, work as a team, and guide people where roads don't go. Dog sledding in the Arctic is more than a thrill. It's a tradition. Only the dog's breath, the jingle of harnesses, and the musher's voice break the silence. According to the International Federation of Sled Dog Sports, breeds like Alaskan and Siberian Huskies are strong, enduring, and built for teamwork in the cold. To truly understand the Arctic, you have to meet the people who've called it home long before the first tourist arrived. In the far north of Norway, Sweden, Finland, and Russia live the Sami, Europe's only recognized indigenous people. For thousands of years, they've followed the reindeer, listened to nature, and moved with the land. When visitors arrive with respect, the Sami welcome them warmly. You might enter a lavu, a traditional tent filled with pine smoke and the scent of fresh bread. A Sami elder speaks gently, sharing stories of how ancestors read the sky and snow. Reindeer herding, they explain, is more than work, it's identity. Then they sing a yoik, a traditional form of Sami music. The melody flows like wind over the tundra. A yoik doesn't describe, it becomes. It can represent a person, place, or moment. The Sami Council and UNESCO recognize the joik as one of Europe's oldest surviving musical traditions. Today, it is being preserved and revived as a vital part of Sami culture. After the day's wonders, how do you rest in the Arctic, in a place where the ceiling is the stars themselves? In Finnish Lapland, travelers can sleep in glass igloos designed to bring the northern lights right to their bedside. Made with thermal glass, these domes stay warm and clear, even in freezing temperatures. Outside, snow glows under the moon and frost-covered pines stand quietly. Inside, it's silent and peaceful, like sleeping beneath the sky. For many, this is a dream come true, watching the aurora in comfort without stepping into the cold. The lights come and go in soft, silent waves. The Finnish Meteorological Institute says the best time to see the aurora here is from September to March, especially with clear skies and low light pollution. Think the show is over? Just look to the icy waters. Some of the world's largest creatures are waiting beneath the waves. In the Arctic Circle, whale watching is more than a tour, it's a moment of wonder. Icebergs drift across endless waters, and then, suddenly, a whale rises from the deep. One moment is still, next, a 40-ton humpback leaps into the air, then vanishes like it was never there. Each summer, whales like humpbacks, belugas, minkies, and even blue whales migrate here to feed on krill and small fish, according to the World Wildlife Fund. In places like Tromsø and Disco Bay, visitors may see dozens in a single day, but the Arctic holds treasures not just above, but deep within. What secrets lie inside these ancient frozen tunnels? Arctic ice caves, formed inside ancient glaciers by meltwater and wind, are shaped over centuries. Their smooth, rippled walls and arched ceilings glow softly as light filters through layers of crystal-clear ice. In places like Vatnajökull National Park in Iceland, travelers can explore these caves with local guides during winter, when the ice is safest. Some caves stretch for dozens of feet, while others are narrow tunnels shaped uniquely by nature. The ice can be hundreds or even thousands of years old. Some glaciers date back over 100,000 years according to the National Snow and Ice Data Center. Walking through feels like entering a frozen archive. When you step back into the Arctic daylight, the sky seems brighter, the air colder, and the world is changed. But once you leave the stillness of these frozen cathedrals, how do you navigate a land where there are no roads, no signs, just snow? Snowmobiling in the Arctic is unlike any road trip. No pavement, no guardrails, just endless white wilderness. The snow crunches beneath you, the cold stings your cheeks, and every turn brings a rush of crisp, controlled speed. You drive past frozen lakes, silent valleys, and icy peaks. The vastness brings a feeling of freedom, bold and alive. In places like Finnmark and Finnish Lapland, guided safaris take travelers deep into remote Arctic lands. According to Visit Norway and Visit Finland, snowmobiles are not just for adventure. They're vital for transport, rescue, and winter deliveries. But where does the Arctic end? What does it feel like to stand at the edge of the Earth? Nordkapp, or North Cape, is the northernmost point of mainland Europe. Beyond its steel globe monument, cliffs drop 1,000 feet into the Arctic Ocean. Ahead lies only sea, ice, and the curve of the Earth. The view is quiet but powerful. The sky stretches wide, the horizon feels vast, and you pause to breathe. At over 71 degrees north, Nordkapp sits farther north than Iceland, St. Petersburg, and most of Alaska. For centuries, it has drawn explorers and dreamers. In summer, the midnight sun lights the cliffs in gold. In winter, snow and auroras fill the sky. If this Arctic moment left you breathless too, give the video a like. It helps more explorers discover nature's best-kept secrets. Yet even at the edge, life continues, rooted in old ways that still feed families and souls alike. In places like Lapland and northern Canada, ice fishing is more than a hobby. For many Indigenous and local communities, it's a way of life, a source of food and a link to heritage. You check the line, watch the hole, and let your mind wander. Someone recalls catching a 10-pound trout, another shares memories of fishing with their grandfather before modern tourism. When the line finally tugs and you pull in your first catch, you feel more than joy, you feel connected to the land, the people, and a tradition that still matters. And when you look up again, you'll see skies alive with wings, visitors who travel thousands of miles to be here too. Birdwatching in the Arctic is more than a hobby, it's a rare privilege. Over 200 bird species migrate here each summer to breed under the midnight sun, according to the Arctic Council's CAF program. You might see a snowy owl, still and watchful, or a king eider with its bright beak gliding through the water. Besides, it has the Arctic tern, tiny birds that travel from pole to pole every year. In places like Spitsbergen and Churchill, birders gather to quietly track birds across tundra, cliffs, and icy shores. The air is cold and the wind steady, but the chance to spot something rare keeps them focused. It's not about lists, it's about witnessing life in one of the world's wildest places. But sometimes, even the sky itself changes shape. Ever seen 3 suns rise at once? The Arctic sky is full of quiet wonders. One morning you might see not 1 sun, but 3 sundogs glowing on either side of the real one. These bright spots form when ice crystals bend sunlight, often appearing in cold climates when the sun is low, according to the National Weather Service. As the sun sets, the world shifts into polar twilight. The sky turns a soft blue, reflected by snow and absorbed by ice. This magical light is sometimes called the Arctic blue hour. Under the right conditions, a perfect halo can form around the sun or moon, caused by hexagonal ice crystals refracting light, says the National Snow and Ice Data Center. These illusions can appear anytime, whether you're hiking, snowmobiling, or simply watching from a window. One moment the sky is still, next it's filled with quiet beauty, and just when you think the cold defines everything, the Arctic surprises you with warmth. One of the Arctic's most surprising wonders is its natural hot springs. Found in places like Iceland, Greenland, Alaska, and Siberia, these geothermal pools stay above 100 degrees Fahrenheit, even in freezing air, thanks to heat from deep within the earth. Steam drifts into the sky as you soak, surrounded by ice and snow. Your hair may frost, but your body stays warm, caught between extremes of hot and cold. Some springs are remote, reached only by snowmobile or hike. Others, like Mývatn nature baths in Iceland or Unartok in Greenland, are easier to access and offer a peaceful escape. But the most powerful Arctic experience, it's not something you see, it's something you learn. In northern Canada, Greenland, and Alaska, indigenous groups like the Inuit, Sami, and Chukchi have lived in the Arctic for thousands of years. Their survival is based on observation, community, and a deep respect for nature, not control but coexistence, according to the Inuit Circumpolar Council. Visitors often find wisdom in simple moments, a sled knot, a way to stay warm without fire, or a story shared over tea. These lessons show that, in the Arctic, listening to the land matters more than following a map. If you found today's video interesting, don't hesitate to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Your support is very important to us. Be sure to check out the next video appearing on your screen. You're sure to love the content we bring. Please leave a comment about which country you'd like us to explore next. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video. Thanks for being with us. Leave a comment, like to show your support, and remember to hit that subscribe button for more exciting videos. See you next time.